When I was born, the doctors didn't even bother to give my parents the percentage of me making it out alive. I'd gotten a bunch of fluids into my lungs, and I literally could not breathe. The second I was born, I was immediately sick, beyond repair. I was hooked up to a breathing machine that went all the way into my lungs for over 2 months. I wasn't getting better, and I was actually getting worse. My breathing was slowing, and my cognitive abilities were going down. The doctors told my parents to get everything in order and to call over a priest. They had stayed by my side every single hour for those 2 months, and they described it as the worst 2 months of their entire life. One day, my dad went over to the hospital priest, and he told him about our situation and asked him to come see me, to just say one final prayer before they stopped trying. My parents left the room, and my priest gave me the sacrament of anointing of the sick. He blessed my parents and told them to pray one last time. The next morning, I was fine. I truly believe that day that God saved my life by nothing else but just a true miracle. That through that priest, God truly came in, gave me his will, came into my life, and saved me from death. And beyond that, I believe he did that for a reason. I've always had this weird relationship with God. It's always existed in the back of my mind, but it's never been something I've truly devoted my life to. And that is something I'm working on every day. But one thing I've always wondered is, why did God save my life? I am not an extraordinary person. I think I'm of average intelligence, of average looks, and I've always wondered why he chose to save me. And so that honestly keeps me up at night, thinking about that. And I've come to a few conclusions of my own. The first is that he saved me just because of that, because I wasn't extraordinary, because I was just an average person, and because of the great things my parents had done. So he did that for them, to save me. The other conclusion I had was that he saved me for some specific reason, something that I'm supposed to do. I've always heard people talk about this calling that you're supposed to feel, whether that's to a job or to a passion. It's really up to you to decide. I've never really had that. I've never experienced that for anything except for one thing, and that is helping others. I believe that is why God saved my life. And the beautiful thing about it is that I will never actually know, because God truly works in mysterious ways, and it's up to us to spend our existence trying to figure out what his will is and live it and get others to live it. But that is what I believe, and that is what I live for today.